Shalom out Barak. Peace to the room. It's time for a party. What we're gonna call today's party. Today's party is about applied knowledge. Give me a moment. I'm about to set up the TikTok live to coincide with this, and I'll play some music while we wait for everybody to join. Entrepreneurship and your service in the community. Applied knowledge. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. Father's peace to everyone who joins in. Shalom Barak. Shalom Jay. Shalom Barak. Peace to you. Shalom Haystack. Peace to you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Uh, if you don't know, and thank you for everybody who is joining in on YouTube. Give me a minute. I will start playing some music as everyone joins in. Shalom Cupcake. Thank you for joining. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Today, yeah, it's time for a party. Today's party is applied knowledge. Every time we meet up, yes, I am. Yes, I am. It's a simultaneous cast on YouTube and on TikTok because YouTube will save the live recordings and make them where I can show them available later as links. Who we got joining on YouTube? Kelly Kane. Shalom. Aparat. Peace and blessings to you. So anytime that we meet up, 4 p.m. Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern, we will be talking about entrepreneurship and service in your community. Today, the subtitle or the subject is going to be applied knowledge. Let's see here. You subbed and liked. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Kelly. Thank you. Uh, I hope you also hit the notification button too, and please share with your friends. Please share with your friends because it looks like I'm just now getting to know who you are, and so definitely I don't know who your friends are. Share to everyone. Anyone who wants to know about really running a business and all that good stuff, Taba stuff, constitutional stuff. You're a business owner in construction in northern Texas. That's awesome. That's awesome. You already got the blueprints going. That's awesome. Because we will be talking about all that kind of stuff. Kelly, you have your business proposal, obviously, because that's something you have to report every year, not only annual, but I'm sure you also know about quarterly reports and so on and so forth. Where we're at right now, we've met 5 times, so this is the sixth time that we will have met. There's a lot that I need to share with you all, and so there is an actual structured form to this. It's not that I'm just freestyling when I come on here and talk to you all. There's always an agenda behind it. Let's see here. Somebody came in and saluted. Hmm. XDSP 23 Shalom Barak. Peace and blessings to you. Thank you for joining. Now, I was in Georgia for a little while. Now I've moved on. Not in Georgia anymore. I'm a nomad, you know that. And I don't always give my location. And I still can't. Even when I decide where I'm going to be and sit still, then most definitely. uh, I'm somewhere in the Midwest. And more than likely, inshallah, Adon willing, you will probably see me in a couple of weeks. I'll be in the area. Let's see here. Somebody else came in over here on YouTube. Uh, Shalom Barak. I see you, Miss Pierce. Shalom Barak. Thank you all for showing up. We're going to keep it moving. It started early in the rising, and we're going to keep it going, right? So, everybody who knows, represent Yahweh, Ahava, Ahava, Ahava. See those green hearts and those locks in the room, because we locked in. We're all one family. All right, I'm going to turn on some music while we wait for everybody else to join in. We'll see who all wants to come through. Uh, let's see here. Yes, indeed. True indeed. Kind. All right, let's see what we can find for our ears. This is a test, as we used to see on the emergency broadcast system. I want you all to understand something, even though I am simultaneously broadcasting on YouTube and TikTok. Shall we say this is an emergency broadcast system? You see, I work under a name called Highest Heights Studio, which works under another name and authority called Yahweh, Elohim. And even at that moment when I spoke that, I saw the screen stutter. I need you all to understand something. This is a test because there is a solid platform. There's an encrypted platform. Some of you all use WhatsApp. Great. There's an encrypted platform for communications. There's an encrypted platform for broadcasting with your telephone or even video. There's an encrypted platform that usurps Zoom. There's a difference between Web 2 and Web 3. See, this is the sixth time that we've all gotten together so that we could discuss entrepreneurship and service in your community. And we've talked about a lot of things. Haven't talked a lot about math. And honestly, Kelly, we haven't talked a whole lot about accounting and keeping your books and what it is to do as far as being an entrepreneur. We have listed the idea of being a contractor, most definitely, because contractors are the ones, especially the general contractor, they are the ones who are responsible for the infrastructure of your city, your town, your neighborhood block. That's your electrician, that's your plumber, that's the one who runs the gas, the cable, the masons, and we're not talking about those who swear at things. I want y'all to notice something. This is not some kind of background or whatever. This is a door. The door is ajar. The door is closed. Everybody wants to talk about masons and woohoo and all that good stuff. Well, you will notice up above me, there's a checkerboard. I chose this particular space for that reason, because there are times when I move in irony and paradoxes. However, that irony and paradox is not the same as chaos, nor is it the same as any agent that you have seen who wants to use manipulation. It's to make you think. I can't manipulate you if I'm telling you I want you to think. That's applied knowledge. So you can give me all the information that you've read out of a book and you can spit it right back at me. But are you using it? You can tell me 2 plus 2 all day equals 4. Great. So did you take an engine that had two valves on one side and then put two valves on the other side so that you could have a four-cylinder engine? Now you're taking me somewhere. But if you just want to tell me that Johnny had two apples and then Susie came along with two apples, now how many apples do they have? Well, Johnny still got two apples, Susie still got two apples until they changed their minds about it. Applied knowledge. So yes, a general contractor is responsible for the infrastructure of your city, your town, your neighborhood, the block, as well as provinces, counties. What are those places that the aldermen, do they say alder ladies and alder women? You see a smile on my face because when you start giving titles to people and you start giving um, assignments, people still have to apply themselves. Maybe we won't have any music today because this is a test. Now with Web 2, there's an infrastructure. It's called the internet. Y'all use it a lot. That's the boundaries of it. That is the foundation of it. That is the borderline of it. Who just joined us? Shalom Barak, peace and blessings to you. Excuse me. So, if the internet is the infrastructure of Web 2, what are we talking about? Because it's also the infrastructure to Web 3. Web 2 is when you open up your device or your computer and you go on the internet and you decide you want to search up something. You're looking up information in Google. You might be looking it up in Mozilla or whatever. You know, I use a browser called Brave and it stemmed from Google. Now, does Google run all search engines and all of the internet? No, because Yahoo would tell you they have a system. And if you go to a different nation outside of the United States, they have a system. And I haven't forgotten because I was telling you all about this towel that's above my head. It's brown and tan. Number one, it's brown and tan. It's wood grain. It is wood. Along with this is a door, and it was ajar, and now it's closed. I want you all to understand, yeah, I am standing in a wood frame, and it's all on purpose. You ever been told to do something, and you could either obey or you could disobey. Either way, your choice is on purpose because there's a purpose behind it. Something's going to happen. There will be circumstances. So you got the general contractor who is responsible for making sure there's a team out there somewhere if the electric lines fall because of a storm. Gonna have to apply somebody savvy out there to take care of that so that some people have power back in their homes. And then you got another group of people that are over in the corner talking about how, well, we're going to put some underground lines going so we don't have to worry about that anymore. We're still going to need some electricians. However, now we're going to need some people who can dig. We need some people who can operate heavy machinery. And eventually we're going to need some pavers because we're going to develop these streets, probably put some sidewalk down too, and we're going to have the lines underneath the sidewalk. or somewhere nearby so it's accessible. And so let's get back to Web 2 and Web 3. Because with Web 2, you got Google, you got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Snap, and then there's all kinds of new ones that's out there on Google Play and the Apple Store. Let's not forget about Apple. You got your Android, you got your Apple device, and then there are others too. I'm just naming off some things that we all are familiar with, right? Excuse me. Gerald Matthews, Shalom, I brought peace to you. Peace and blessings. Thank you for joining. And yes, let's also remember Subhanallah. Subhanallah means all praises to Allah, who is Allah, Yahweh Allahim, the source of all sustenance and mercy. Something to never forget in all of your walks and talks in life, whoever you stand up to. I happen to speak my service to the one who created everything and owns everything. So even that label of Highest Height Studio is of service to Yahweh Elohim. You could say Adshem, that's to the name and the authority. Adshem Yahweh Elohim, Adshem Ravak HaKadesh, Adshem Yashava HaMashiach. So that means that everything that Highest Height Studio would do, and I had to slow down because I'm seeing the buffering too, all right? Like I said, this is a test. Everything done is already under a direction. It's already under management. We're going to keep on rocking and rolling. Because we were rocking and rolling before the electric guitar. We were rocking and rolling before the boat that we got on that nobody wants to talk about. We were rocking and rolling on a boat. Casting nets, on a mission, and traveling and visiting. We've been on boats, and we've been rocking and rolling with the waves and the tides. So let's apply this knowledge, right? We all know about all those different applications that we can use on the internet that I spoke of. Those are platforms. We can use those with our own profiles. Some of us share our daily activities like a journal so that anyone that we know can keep up with us. If I hadn't had a chance to call you today, go look on my wall and you'll see a little post-it of what I've been up to, right? And inside of those platforms, they make it possible for us to message each other, direct message. However, they don't tell you straight away that every time you're posting something, they don't have to gather information off of your email or your telephone number. They gather information off of your activities. It's not somebody snooping and watching and typing at some blue screen every time you log on. I've said it before, I'll say it again. There was a time when they used to send those little cardboard post-its to your mail that you would throw away. Well, that developed trash. So now they just, you know, we don't get Consumer Digest magazines anymore. Now they have digested what the consumer does and sends you a magazine. They don't even use paper no more. Now they just use digital images. They send you digital images of your own activity to you. Here. This is what we see you do, so we're going to make it easy for you. You want some cookies? These cookies are going to make sure that it's super easy for you. Matter of fact, that's a treat. You get some cookies to go and do what you like to do. Here you go. All right, so if that's Web 2, what's Web 3? How many of you have heard about decentralized currency, decentralized publishing, decentralized information search, decentralized virtual communities? Well, what does decentralized mean? How many of you went to a bank before? How many of you all been told that you need to go to the polls and vote before? How many of you know what the word politics means? Let's take it to the root, P-O-L. Because in P-O-L, they developed the concept of islands. So if you were in a poli, that meant you were in a governed island. Okay? So if you were involved in politics, you were involved in the power and the control of that particular island. So that meant that any power and control, that also means the economics, that means the product that is made, whatever is going on for the sustenance of that island and so forth, which means there's going to be some trade with another island. Because I've heard before that no man is an island. Because you got to survive. You can't survive just by standing and existing. You're going to need nature. And it helps if you do cohabitate with someone else because now you can work in a partnership. So no man is an island. You can't stand alone. That means that even if you are a part of this network that controls all the power and the sustenance that's going on in that island, you still have to connect with others. So you're also part of that network too. That's also infrastructure because there's the physical work and then there's the ideas behind how are we going to develop some technology to better our lives, as well as while we're helping ourselves, why not look out for the next person, especially if we're already in some kind of interdependency. I'll let you all know something. My mother's about 10 years younger than Dr. Angela Davis. My mother decided she wanted to emulate Dr. Angela Davis. When I came into her life, she was sitting on a stoop with some panthers. So I had the blessing of being able to develop inside of a womb while listening to Black Panthers in the 70s in Chicago, Illinois. I had the blessing because not only was I able to hear what was going on, I was able to feel if there was any fear or if there was any security or if there was any love or if there was any information, if there was some nurturing happening. I could feel it. I could hear it. And you all don't realize this because they're always talking about the triple darkness. I want you all to know something. You ever close your eyes? You ever close your eyes in the dark and cover your eyes with something? You sit there long enough with your eyes closed in the dark, even covered with something, you will still be able to perceive light. You won't be able to completely have the room illuminated as if your eyes were open and direct light source was at your lens and retina. However, you will be able to perceive light. So even when they say triple darkness, you will be able to perceive. Those that are blind, even though their ocular nerves that have been connected behind their eyes into their brain, even though some of those nerves aren't acting right, some of them are. doctor can't tell you if a person is 100% blind because they found out there's over 2,000 different nerves and pathways coming from each eye back into the lobes. That's why they can't just take out an eye and put another one in, because there are so many different nerves that have to be reconnected, let alone the muscles that move our eyes back and forth. The muscles of my eyes that are held within my skull right now will not be shaped the same to fit someone else's eyeballs. I know this. I know because one of my eyes is not shaped like any other eye. It causes me to have a certain type of vision. I refuse to have it so-called corrected because I've gone on my life with this vision and I've been able to see some things that people don't perceive. I like it. Some people would freak out. Some people would freak out just me saying that around them. You can't be telling people that. I can. Otherwise, I'd just be sitting around either talking to, as people say, the Most High. I don't say the Most High because anything could be high. The Most Highest tippy top of a mountain. The most highest top of the tallest tree. The highest flying bird. The highest cloud. The sun at its zenith. I don't say the Most High because Yahweh Elohim, Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, surrounds us, is in us, everything. So I don't have to look up. You know why I don't have to look up? Because no matter where I look. Kahalet Kofi was leading us the other day, and I am not taking away anything he said. I am building with it. And this is why. I speak Nah. I speak Nah. I speak Noah. Noah and his family were riding in a boat, and there was only one window, and they had to look up. You'll find that in the Bible. You'll find that in the Torah. You will find that in the Apocrypha. You will find that in the Quran. I'll tell y'all a little story about the Quran that most people keep forgetting. The Quran is a guideline. It is a reminder that you are supposed to go back to the Bible, the Torah, the Apocrypha, because the Torah is more than just 5 books. It is the compendium. It is the complete collection of the scrolls and all events that happened around it. That's the Torah. So these people were found looking up because that's all they knew to do, because they were looking for their source. Everything else was the things that the source had said would happen. We're going to look up. And so in the Quran it says, I found you all looking up, and so I'm going to give you a place to look. Direct your face towards the sacred temple. So then people started arguing, well, should we look at Jerusalem or should we look at Mecca? You all keep forgetting something. It's not a building. Because then later on it says, to everything belongs Allah. Therefore, no matter which direction you look, not only that, but no matter which direction you look, if you're looking east to west, you're going to see it, you're going to face it. If you look north to south, you're going to see it, you're going to face it. Northwest, southwest, east, northeast, southeast. And the reason why is because while you're doing all that turning about and looking about and all that kind of stuff, you're doing more praise and worship on the direction instead of realizing that we are within the creation itself. The creator is the one that made the creation, that gave it life. Therefore, the creator is even within the creation. So it don't matter which way we look. We're in it. I'm not discounting anything Khaled Kofi has said. Applied knowledge. So we've discussed what Web 2 is. Let's get on to Web 3 because you can do cryptocurrency with Web 3. There are bounds and means within Web 3 that we can do in a decentralized structure. That means that we don't have to go and talk to a loan officer. You see, Kelly, maybe or maybe not, you're still with us. I hope you are. I pray that you are. There's 3 people with us in YouTube. We're keeping the YouTube going because we're going to later use that. It's recorded information. You see, I can't do that with TikTok. I get to go live, and then that part disappears. See, it's a great thing. It's a Tabah thing. It's a constitutional thing that this is protected by Yahweh Elohim. Ravak HaKadesh at Yahshua HaMashiach. And then it's also watermarked with Highest Height Studio. Angelic Discipline is an agent who represents Highest Height Studio. One of the premier artists would be 3P Roge. Then there's DJ Microwave 5000 watts. And we won't forget Wired Owl. Because Wired Owl is the one that comes with the ideas. And then everybody else has to run and scurry and take care of it. That's how that works, y'all. So I'm the general contractor for Highest Height Studio. And I do know a little bit about painting. Paint the walls of a house, inside or outside, and the ceiling. I can cut in and do the trim. And by the time I leave, I can't guarantee you that there will be no paint drops. I can guarantee you that my skills are up to par, where most people would have to use blue tape. I do not have to use blue tape. And I give thanks to our Creator for instilling that within my hands and my mind and my motor control. I can lay down some tile, mix the mortar up, count how many squares I'm going to need from measuring out the borderlines of that room, the constrictions of that room. I can swing a hammer. I can push a lawnmower. I can climb a ladder. I can take a sheet up onto a roof, a sheet of plywood by myself. Rather not do it, but I can. I can hand up plywood. I can hand bricks up. Done these things in my life. I can move boxes on a dolly. These things I've done. So I know a little bit about what it takes to maintain some infrastructure. I know a little bit about paying the crew. So I know a little bit about currency so that people are motivated to come back and maintain that infrastructure. That's kind of how it works in Web 3. You see, I'm involved with a platform that actually is its own network on Web 3. It's called The Social World. On The Social World, as soon as you sign in and you decide that you want to have your own profile, you are assigned your own crypto coin by your choice, by your name, and that's going to go off of whatever your profile handle is. My coin is 3PROJH. When you see a dollar sign in front of 3PROJH, it's representing the cryptocurrency of 3PROJH, which can actually be traded with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tronex, Solera, and so on and so forth. It can be traded with USDC. That's United States dollar coin. If you didn't know, yes, the United States itself has a coin. For everybody that wants to jump up and down talking about, I'm not going to, guess what? Every time you trade one of those Applebee's gift cards, you are trading cryptocurrency. For every time that you go ahead and make sure that you pay that credit card debt from buying whatever you bought last week, last month, or even last year, you're paying off cryptocurrency because that coat that was hanging on a rack that you went and bought on credit, that means nobody actually exchanged a dollar bill. Nobody came and dropped off a lump of gold for you to have that coat. It was an exchange of numbers and digits. So yes, you can have your own crypto coin, your own cryptocurrency. That would be your creator coin in this profile. And then the social world has connected with a separate platform called Focus. They've been developing it for about 2 or 3 years. They're boosting out of Twitter. They like to use Twitter. And the more notoriety that you have on Twitter, the more you can earn on Focus. Now, this is a place where not just with Focus or not just even with Deso, there's several different platforms that will do this. However, I'm going to tell you about Deso because that's what I use. As a matter of fact, I won't lie to you, I actually pronounce it incorrectly. I should say Deso. D Social World, Deso Coin. 3P Roach Coin is under Deso Coin. Right now, Deso Coin is at about $10. 10 US dollars would buy one Deso coin. $1 would buy my coin. I've been checking out the social world for almost 4 years now. When I started, it was worth $8. I started in the fall. By mid-December, and I'm using these terms and words because these are words and names that everybody understands. So I'll tell you about what I do when I'm moving in certain calendars. We'll put it that way. So December, 3, 4 years ago, it went from $8 to 12. Woohoo! Wow! Check that out because that does mean a lot. It's kind of like watching the stock market, and you do have stock in Merrill Lynch. When Merrill Lynch goes up by $4, you better jump for joy. That's telling you the ticket price of what it costs to even buy an investment. Thank you for the love. Yahava. Let's stay locked in with this. Green hearts. Let's see some locks too. If y'all would ever notice, I use the lock with a pen, and then I use the lock with the key. Because both of them are keys, right? So, got this content creator coin, and every time I post on the social world, I have the opportunity for my post to gain a tip. They're called diamonds on the social world. That diamond starts at 1 cent, and it could increase into however much amount that a person wants to tip. That's an actual physical USDC that can be transferred into my e-wallet, and it can become whatever currency across the globe because it's decentralized. The same coin gives me rights to offer a token, a DAO token, meaning you can invest in either the coin itself or you can invest in the drive and the motivations behind the coin. You can become an investor. You will have a voice. It's not just, oh yeah, I just put some money in because I like this person. No, you actually get a voice in what I say, what I do. Hmm. But 3P Rose, you're a sole proprietor of Highest High Studio. How's anybody gonna invest in you? Well, you see, instead of having to go talk to a bank loan officer, what I did was I wrote out my business proposal because that means that anybody that comes to me, the words that come out of my mouth are what they can take home with them and read. I didn't get stuck in an elevator with that exec for 5 minutes just to tell them, oh, hey, and I did bring this business proposal that was in my back pocket. Here you go. No, I was spending 5 minutes in that elevator that got stuck with that executive because I had too much coffee today. And I was on my way up just to go back down. You're stuck in the elevator with me. And since there's two of us and I'm about to start talking, there's going to be a third entity. Are you all with me? Shall I? I'm about to take a sip of coffee and some water. Y'all with me? Wired Al is in the building. Are y'all with me? Because we want to apply some knowledge. You see, even in triple darkness, I might have popped out nearsighted. However, I picked up on some things. Let me tell you all a correct quote. It is applied knowledge is power. So if I can be a general contractor who sees talent in all many types of ways, talent is not doing the fertility dance. Talent is not how many notes can I hold while I talk about baby, baby, baby. That is not talent. Talent is when the hem of a garment has been sewn. I repeat myself because I saw that stutter on TikTok again. Talent is when the hem of a garment is sewn. Sow a garden, sow a seed. Either way, the thought is still lost. Add up harvest at all costs. Sow a garden, sow a seed. Either way, the thought is still lost. Add up harvest at all costs. Y'all hear bar, bar, bar. You know why you hear bar, bar, bar? Because that's mine. That's my bars. Did that song with my son. Because yes, I am a general contractor. And I look for talent all kinds of ways. I'll let you know a few ways that I have some talents. They are talents because they are skills that I already had. And it took meeting someone on a professional level to be able to apply them and sharpen them and make them of use to the point to where I was concerned enough to where if I could actually go and help others with these talents and skills, we could all have a better quality of life. Do you know what quality of life is? It's when you're sitting at your house and it's not a home. When someone else walks into the door and they feel a dark cloud, whether you do or not, that's when it's a chair. Because you over there on the couch and ain't nobody sitting there. Where am I going with all this? I don't know. Let's see here. We've been going strong for about 43, almost 44 minutes. Thank you all for spending this time. We're still cruising with one over here on YouTube. I see two representing in TikTok. I don't trust numbers for anything. I thank you all for being here. I thank you for the love. I thank you all for being here as a constant reminder that I have a task that I'm supposed to be doing, and it's not to serve me. I'm here to serve Yahweh Elohim through service to you. Still ain't got to that coffee yet. All right. So, since I'm a general contractor who looks out for skills, That means I also stay somewhat on the up and up as far as how people are moving, even in the employment arena, because I have aspirations. My mother and I planned out a specific organization that looks out for education, occupation, as well as residency. Funny thing about residency is works the same way as what you would hear if some college recruiter came along and told you we've got dormitories, right? Because your residency is determined upon the amount of work that you are willing to do for the kingdom of the shepherds, because they represent a special interest group. Kelly, I don't know if you're still with us, and I do appreciate the time that you did spend with us earlier. I'll share something with you. This goes out to Kelly and everybody else. My responsibility, and anyone who happens to join this particular organization who represents a special interest group, it is also their obligation as well. There's a certain percentage that goes back to the storehouse, no matter what. And on my end, me personally, I have to say that I'm actually going to put very little in my own pocket because of all of the things that I will have to look out for. And then there's all of the people that I will have to look out for. And then there's all of the circumstances that may happen. So my intentions are to make sure everything goes into the storehouse and those in need. So those who would be in residency, they would have shelter, as well as an occupation that's paying for their residency. Now, how does all that work? That means that the storehouse has to be full, right? So, how are we gonna do that? I have a creator coin through the social world, and then with their partner project, I have a meme coin with focus. And I told you a little bit about how the social world works. With focus, there's even a greater, we're going to start using it as a buzzword. Let's do it. There's a greater opportunity with focus, because even though you're getting your tips and your investments through the social world, when you go into focus, it is meant for people to be posting content that is relative enough that the content will keep moving that post along the blockchain. That is what makes a post valuable, because it keeps getting put in front of other people and then they correspond with it. Tada for all the ahava that you show. Thank you for the love that you're showing. However, we got to take it up a notch. You like something? You share it. As a matter of fact, you like and you share it. I'm sure you all recognize the fact that if a person can go live, that means that while they're going live, they can get tips and you can give gifts and all that. That's awesome. Currently, I'm not on YouTube, even though I do have a YouTube live. Could use it at any given time. Could have used any of these lives at any given time. I had to be at a place where I could constantly step in front of you all and speak. Things are always on my mind. Just like what Kahalet Kofi said. If it came down to it, I could be anywhere talking to the trees, the birds, the grass, the clouds, these walls around me, whoever might be sitting in the room with me, whoever's walking down the street with me, whoever stops me on the corner because they wanted to tell me something. And all I got to say is thank you. Don't have to give them a jewel back or anything like that, because they gave me something I needed to walk with, because my ears were on. My heart was there. The law that protects and keeps my heart beating told me pay attention. So when I do have the opportunity to be able to stand in front of you all, I want to be able to do that because I am a talent. And the only way I can find out about you all's talents is if you all come say, "Here am I." Hmm? Akati Monica, Akbruda, brother. Shalom, Barak. Peace and blessings. Thank you all for joining. So, the general contractor would be the one who goes and finds all the other contractors who have the teams with these people who have abilities to cover any situation. Correct? We've been talking about the difference between Web 2 and Web 3 because today's focus is applied knowledge is power. I'm not an expert on how to use cryptocurrency. I'm not an expert on how to use Web3 and the decentralized platforms. I'm not an expert. I can tell you I've been exploring for the last 5 or 6 years because before I was mainlining with the soul world, the social world, I was dabbling with Ethereum through OpenSea. I have a profile, I have a page on through OpenSea. There's a web page through Cent, just like dollars, and then there's Cent, CENT. I have a profile and a web page there, and also have offerings of NFTs through OpenSea. And then I started looking for an alternative because if you're dealing in Ethereum, then your e-wallet has to be Ethereum. If you want to start using Bitcoin or anything else, then you would actually have to transfer that currency in your e-wallet over to Bitcoin, which would be a separate wallet unless you have a wallet that covers different forms of currency. I wasn't doing that. Instead, I have a wallet for whatever storefront that I'm using. You see, I'm not walking around with 8 physical wallets in my pocket. Therefore, it's a lot easier to manage. Now, all these wallets that I'm talking about and so on and so forth, there's barely a dime in any of them, right? And that's a reason. I haven't put a dime in. Now, if you look at the account and see what I'm worth and what's been generated and so on and forth, barely 25 cents physically showing. Why is that? Well, right now, my coin is worth $1 and diesel coin is worth $10. You see, the first time I was checking out diesel and it went from 8 to 10 to 12, and we said, oh, wow, see how that jumped? Because that's very important. If that coin can jump $4 in value in less than 3 weeks, that $4 jump is more than just a $4 multiplier. You see, when I first joined diesel, I had no idea what was going on. All I know is I kept looking in, and I was getting profits from the tips and people coming in and investing in my coin, and I made a dire mistake, and I had no idea. Because every time I saw that money coming in, it wasn't that I was just taking it in and transferring it over. Because no, you gotta wait till at least you got $5, right? $5 on some, $10 on the other. In a year or two, I may have blown through $25 because what I was doing was no matter who was sending it or where they put it, if I decided when I came in that day I wanted to buy some stuff and invest in somebody else, well, I would just sell the coins that I had, whether it was mine or somebody else's. I'm sitting there with $5 worth of my own coin. Why not take 10 cents off and go buy a penny here, and a penny there of somebody else's investment? The problem is when you start selling off your own coin, in a decentralized market, it's saying that you have doubts against your coin, and it does start marking against you. It marks against your value. So you got personal people with a personal feeling and attachment that's seeing you sell your coin. That means that you're about to close out. You can translate that to even the global physical fiat market. That is what controls how stock has value. It's not because we wake up tomorrow and apples cost more all of a sudden. There's a lot of feeling behind it. The farmers sent in a report, and this year we're going to have a problem with the yields. The crops aren't going to come in. So now there's a feeling that goes along as they're looking at the future, this forecast, and how are we going to augment? What are we going to do when we face this when everybody else has to deal with it? We're getting a report in now that the harvest came in and it's short. We live in a society of scarcity instead of looking for ways to cause surplus because the surplus is always there. So up to us to put in the work and the effort in order to earn the equity. That's the surplus. Yeah, I can go out there and dig a couple of holes and put some seeds in the ground, come through every now and then and water it for 6 to 8 months. And I might possibly get some kind of fruit yielded from it. Or I can come through there and I tend it all the time, feed it nutrients. On the days when it's not raining is the days that I come and bring some fresh water and talk with it. On the days when it's raining, I come through and I speak with those plants and I remind them that I'm still here. What's a fair weather friend? Unless the wind is going to knock me down off my feet, I'll come out here and say hi to you. As a matter of fact, I'm going to share something with you all. Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, peace be upon him, all prophets before and after him. Prophet Muhammad was known for being outside in his garden, walking around, watering the plants, reciting surah. Surah are the sections in the Quran that are labeled as they were revealed to the Prophet. Then he would later reveal it to the people in gatherings. Not saying that those surah were revealed to him while he was watering the garden. No, he was repeating surah that had already been revealed. When Muslims pray, they recite surah. So, I've got a garden outside or inside, and it's time to go and water the plants. Walk around the plants, reciting surah. It would be like walking around some plants, reciting psalms. So I found this way to write a business proposal so that people would know what I propose to you as any form of service that I can provide. If you come to me with hot points, these are the forms of service I can provide. Now, if I went to a bank, they would say, hey, you're on the right path. Get yourself an LLC. And I would have to tell the loan officer, I'm an artist. Oh, even artists can get an LLC. Yeah. And I have a digital gallery instead of hanging it on walls, whether in a gallery or a museum. Got a digital gallery? Yeah, okay. Picture this, pun intended. A 12 by 14 canvas, already in a frame. Signature at the bottom. Take a snapshot. Now, that goes up to Amazon and Facebook and everybody else to show them an image of what they could actually order and have it sent to them. You could have this original canvas. Now, before I put it in a frame, I actually did take a detailed picture of this picture. That I can use for prints. However, I have this original canvas and the frame and everything, right? And underneath it, I put a description telling you all about the materials that were used and the types of paint to justify why this picture is going to cost you $399 for me to ship it to you. Now, I've already let you all know I don't paint pictures. I've not painted a picture in I don't know how long. That's not one of my skills anyway. I'm giving you a for instance. This picture is going to cost $399 for me to send it to you because it is the original. And I will have prints out and available to where a person could hang a 12 by 14 if they wanted to, whether it's on canvas or paper or even a magnetic or metal media. And the bank loan officer is like, yeah, I'm still with you. I'm still with you. Okay. Now, the reason why I say I have a digital gallery is because when I took that snapshot of the original before I put a frame on it, you see now I went and I posted that on my profile in Web3 and I assigned it as an NFT. Now I have an option. I can say that this NFT is worth $399. I can say it's worth $1. I could say it's worth $1,000. I've got that option. Or I could even just put it under auction with a starting price. And even that starting price can be the set price, and somebody else can come along and decide they want to pay more. This is the starting price. This is the ground price for this NFT. Okay, well, as far as I know, says the bank loan officer, NFTs are just people trading collectible pictures and things like that. Yeah, some people would consider that. However, we're going to take it a little bit deeper. You see, where you suggest that I should go and apply for and pay for having an LLC, I can do this smart contract over here through this NFT, which will list out everything upon agreement that may or may not have anything to do with this picture. You see, because an NFT can be a picture, a sound, or just a descriptive post. So while I've posted something and I can gain some tips because people like it, and then I can have people come in and invest just within the company and concept of 3P Rouge, they can also come to me and say, hey, I would like to request an NFT from you. I want you to make an NFT for me because I understand something. When you said, hey, I'm going to post this NFT for $1, you as the owner will get $1. However, when it sells again, the person who bought it can get a percentage. So they get a percent, they get what it sells for, and then a percentage because one, they've opted in to be a member of 3P Roach coin investors. Two, they've opted in to be a member of 3P Roach DAO token investors. Three, they are already a prior owner of a 3P Roach NFT. Four, they are connected with the Focus Investor Group. Five, you could still get royalties if the original owner and publisher of that NFT directly lists you as a benefactor, meaning that every time that NFT gets sold, you get a percentage. And the whole time you were just sitting at home being supportive, or you were out there in the streets doing your mission. The whole time that NFT is moving around. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because once again, yeah, it's deeper than just a picture. I posted a lot of NFTs that are pictures, and the effort behind those pictures was footage for videos. The videos later became videos with music, which became entertainment and information through digital media. And the products that you have seen me post, I'm not doing it just for fun. Some of them are PSAs, public service announcements. Some of them are actual promotions to albums that I have done. And then some of them are actual full videos because when I do write an album or compose an album, there's a full story to it. That's where I come from. Turn on some music and there's an album. That means they got something to tell you from beginning to end. Sometimes it might be a little disjointed, but who's ever watched a movie where it just went from beginning to end nonstop? So, oh, we're at the 1 minute or 1 hour 6 minute mark. Thank you all, not only for joining, also for staying. Thank you for your attention. You could have been anywhere. Thank you for motivating me. Thank you for inspiring me to get up here and do this because I'm learning while y'all are learning. I'm remembering while y'all are remembering. You know, Kofi has taught us a lot. So while we are being entrepreneurs and of service in our communities, we're going to apply knowledge because that is power. So you can come to me and you can say, hey, I need you to write an NFT for me. You want me to write something? Yes, yes, yes. What do you need me to write out? I've been working on this agreement. And in the agreement, I want to provide a service. However, the problem is I'm lacking some of the finances that I need. Oh, really? Yeah. See, this is the project. And if I do this, it will provide a very necessary product or service for the community. And it'll also help put into the storehouse for this particular group of special interest. So I need you to help me write out an agreement that says I need X amount of finances in order to make this have its way to get off the ground. Or I might need to replace some equipment or someone that I know is in need. I want to help them. And I don't want to use some of the other hedge funding opportunities they have out here because some of those crowdfunding sources not only take a large percentage out, but some of them, if you don't reach the goal, they take a large percentage out and only give you so much back. So I need something that's going to guarantee if I don't reach my goal, you can either have your money back or I can actually declare we're looking for a certain goal. If we don't reach that goal, 10% of what has been gathered will go back to all investors. We will use the remainder for the focus of what we're trying to do, and then we will start again. Or we can fully refund you and start over. You see, you can do that with an NFT. You can write your own limited license agreement, and it's binding to where no one can get any of the finances until everything is done. That goes even for if I were to write such an NFT, I would put it in the agreement from my end. Now, this is me telling you how I conduct business. From my end, I will place this for you. It does cost X amount of money for me to do promotions for you. It costs X amount of money for me to make one custom video. And it's not skyrocket out there crazy. What I'm saying is there is a price list, as they say, a la carte. If you went to a restaurant and you just wanted certain things from off the menu, item by item, a la carte, I can provide that list for you to show you what it would cost. However, before we even going through all of that, I'm not going to charge you until all of this is said and done, even executed to the point of the money goes back to the people or you actually move forward with your project. You see, because we have now set up a limited license agreement and we can establish trust funds. Because when you have an e wallet, you can have an e wallet that's dedicated only to a certain trust fund. The beauty of e wallets and Web3 business navigation, the whole nine. With some places, they ask you for your name, your phone number, your address, your email, and all that and so forth. And now you too can have a Facebook profile. Yeah, great. So if somebody gets the last of my five social security digits, if they sit there long enough and hammer in some numbers, they might be able to access some of that. It doesn't work that way with Web3. Instead of a keyword, comes with keywords in a sequence. Keywords, a key phrase, keywords, a key phrase. It doesn't say an intelligible sentence. It, it gives you words to write down and keep as your key to unlock an encrypted, secure, safe place. That way you can go to your safe place and then broadcast out into the world, your net, in order to bring back in those who are willing to be a part of the kingdom of shepherds, who are of service of Adshem, Yahweh Elohim, Adshem, Ravak HaKadesh, Adshem, Yahshua HaMashiach, and they keep the ways of the prophets who were sent through those names and authorities. Then you could be an entrepreneur who serves your community, applying your knowledge and asserting your power. I tell you all that because not only do I have a coin, there's a certain special interest group that I'm very acquainted with. We all know the three C's and the seven F's. Their special interest group also has a creator coin waiting for us to fill up the storage. And that key phrase, those key words, our Kahalet has access to it. His wife, his Isha, has access to it. I'm waiting for three trustworthy individuals to also share this access as far as being able to work with the profile of this special interest group. It's not just for anybody or everybody. And like I said, It's not $1,000 sitting there right now because 3 or 4 years ago it went up to $10 in diesel, and then it went back down, came back to 8 after that spring. Next year it went up 12, and then I'm seeing 16, and it keeps coming back down during the summer. And then I keep hearing about how they're working on this other thing called Focus. They had been working on Deso, and Deso had been around for maybe 2 years before I even knew anything about it. So now Deso is working on 5, 6 years as a platform, standing. And they're talking about this thing called Focus. So this is 2025 according to that certain calendar. And last year, 2024, at the beginning of the year, we were looking at diesel were at $22. So you go from $8 normal average and jump up $14. You go look at the value of your own personal coin that usually rides around $1.60 or 2.50, and then you look at your own personal coin, it's $16. I don't have time for lying. I'm too busy looking for truth. So yeah, I've got a coin. You can get a coin. And there's a special interest group that we are all involved in that does have a coin. It's waiting on you. My question for you is, do you have a mission statement? Do you have a mission statement for this enterprise that you have as an entrepreneur? Because each of you are entrepreneurs, whether you stepped into it or not. Some entrepreneurs actually are non-profit. And there's a difference between non-profit and not for profit. Not for profit basically means, here, I'm going to hand you X amount of money for you to work with all year. By the time I get back, there shouldn't be anything left. And then we're going to restart next year. New slate. Do it again. Is there anything that we need to add on or take out? Because I'm going to give you this and then I'm going to leave you alone. I'll be back. See, that's not for profit. And then there's non-profit, where once again there's a scheduled budget and any of the profits have to be sent away from that particular group. So we're going to apply our knowledge as entrepreneurs who represent a certain special interest group. Can I get some green hearts and some locks in the room? Because we represent Yahweh, Ahava. Yahweh is love. Ahava, Ahava. Love is love. Love is an action. If I see that you need, before you can ask me, I give of me all that I can. That's love. Love is compassion. Compassion is empathy. Empathy means stepping outside of self and seeing the value of someone else and their value in their emotions, in their intelligence, in their physical needs, spiritual needs. That's what love is. Love is not, I drew a heart on a piece of paper and a rose next to it and said, I love you. Love is a qualifier that rides on emotions. That's why Yahweh is love. We're going to ride together. I see that heart. Shalom Barak. Katitia. There's the big us, there's the big we, and there is the big one. we all ride under one. We're all coming together to form and function in order to broadcast from all sides of this surface that we live on. People want to argue about a lot of things. I know one thing, we all live on this same whatever it is, and we were all created by the same. Our duty is to make sure that it is proclaimed across this whole surface to each and every ear the truth behind what is the real message and the story and the creed. And there's four angels is waiting just to be released. I know this. I was sent here today, yesterday, and tomorrow to always tell you. Those angels are waiting to yell out Hazan Yasharael because the process has already started. They're waiting for that to be something that is a reality, where the message of truth behind the family lineage, where they walked and talked, and what they did while they walked and talked, and who they proclaimed as their own standard. If they were the standard bearers, where did it come from? We are supposed to make sure that message is across this earth, planet, surface. So we need to apply our knowledge, which is our skills and our talents, to the best of our ability to empower ourselves. I don't need to go and vote and wait for somebody to tell me what I need to do. I don't need to wait for them to form a committee in order for them to get some ideas to know that my neighbor needs so and so. And my neighbor, who has a cousin on the other side of town, needs so and so, and their neighbors ain't helping. I don't need to wait for the mayor to tell me to get up and do something. I don't need to wait until tomorrow because the bus system is down. I'm blessed to have Bo and Joe, that's left and right foot. Bo and Joe, that's left and right foot. I'm having to repeat myself because I am seeing when it's stalling and buffering. I don't wait for the bus to start running. I got Bo and Joe. I put whatever is needed into the backpack and get to stepping. Not everybody can do that. So I'm thankful when I can. Park my truck, take a bus on ride on purpose. See, that's me. Park my truck. Like what? Catch the bus. At the bus stop, you won't stop me. I keep on walking. Now that's me using one of my actual lines and blending it freestyle. This is what I do all day. If I can flip a word, just imagine what I do when I come across problems. I'm looking at it in 360 different degrees to figure out how to cool it off. Are you with me? I love all of you. I really do. We're sitting at an hour and 23 minutes, and this is a test because I needed to know something. I needed to know what would happen to the signal if there was no question about what sounds were being emitted. You see, I get a certain result back that tells me how long the video was, and then when I watch it, it tells me something different because it was buffering. So it tells me how long it was recording. So I remind all of you, whenever you do decide to start going live and you want to take it serious, not that this isn't, please have a separate device that is not doing the broadcasting. However, it is recording your actions because you do need to retain your personal property. My question to you all, since we do have about 30 minutes, yep, how many of you all have started writing out your business proposal? How many of you all have started your mission statement and you figured out what you want to actually do and push it? How many of you are still just scratching your heads? I'm asking this question because I want you all to speak up. I want you all to tell me how far along on your path that you've gotten. It's not the time for anybody to be laughing at you. Shame on them. This is the time for us to all start working together. We're brainstorming. I see you, Akati. It's a daily growth process. The best example I can give you is this. What were you doing when you were 2 years old? What was it that your family said? Wow, look at him go. That's what she does. That's what he does. You bounce through the room, you're doing it, and then you go. When was the last time you did something that didn't take so much effort from you, you thought, but it put the biggest smile on somebody else's face? Felt effortless to you. Writing for sure, just struggling with consistency. I mean to that. My first aspirations was to be a writer. I still want to. There are some short stories that I wrote, and things have happened within my life, and my brain has been rewired. So when I used to be able to sit down and write pages and pages, 2, 3 pages, like how I'm standing in front of you all and talking, I used to be able to write pages and pages of prose like that, just paragraph, 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 paragraph. And my biggest challenge was within self. How many times am I going to say this word or that word before I go and check the thesaurus because I'm running through words in my head? How many times am I going to use this form to make a compound sentence instead of that form? That's why you don't hear me use but very often. You'll hear me say yet. You'll hear me say however. You'll hear me say so. Because it's not just a pattern of speech, it's you are building the vibration that you will be emitting to other people. People read things because they may not have been able to formulate that in their mind. So when you give something to them, they are hearing your voice. However, now that picture is being put in front of them to be able to see it a certain way. You know, I'm thankful that I'm able to rhyme or put together harmonies and things like that because it helps somebody else. They retain from it. I'm happy when someone says, "Oh, I really liked when you did so and so." Wow. Because that was something that was here and I needed to get it out. So when someone else gets to enjoy it, then yes, mission accomplished. You see? So what's your mission? I'm gonna let you all in on a little secret. For every NFT that I've posted that was a picture, I posted for $1. If I posted a video that was maybe 3 minutes long, it's posted as an NFT for $3. If I wrote out a post that was 5 paragraphs, right? 5 paragraphs. That's an introduction, that's 3 paragraphs in the body, and then a conclusion, right? And in this particular post, I put a couple of pictures in there and the video. That NFT is worth $10 for the effort because, so like Spider-Man, Peter Parker got paid by submitting pictures of Spider-Man. Peter Parker got paid by submitting pictures of his work. Peter Parker was a student that went to school. Spider-Man took out bad guys. Spider-Man did not take money from the money that was stolen from the banks. The cops did not pay him for helping them out. No, he had to go and get money from someone who actually despised him. Because even your enemy will have to sit at the table and acknowledge when your cup is running over. What's your mission statement? How can I be of service to not only be able to have access to these types of wonders, and to also be amongst people who are of like minds, where I feel at home, where I feel that it is a safe place, a safe space, because I started strong. I gave Yahweh one more. I pressed and I strained. Thought I finished strong, but it's not over because I keep waking up, my eyes open, and it's another day, and I'm still breathing. So not done. Salam Aparat, Shabbat. My people, you have slipped into the room when I wasn't even looking. Thank you to everyone for joining and spending time. Uh, we got a few more minutes, and we're still trying to figure out how to get the live accompaniment to work. So I would like for anyone to jump up if you'd like to. This is the time. Um, we got about 30 more minutes. So if anybody wants to say anything, Yahava, Hava, Tada, Tada family. Um, I'm going to send some links out. That'll be the best way. If you want to go and look up some information to find out what it really is about, got your handy dandy notebook? There's two things. First one is DESO, DESO. The whole phrase for it is the social world. DESO is going to pop up when you do a search in the browser. It looks like a blue square in the shape of a D. DESO. DESO runs Diamond app. You can find some of my NFTs through there. And then I'm also on OpenSea. You have a Coinbase? Awesome, awesome. Um, we need to get connected so that I can you you can go in and go ahead and start your own profile. That's what we've been talking about today. I want everybody to go in and start their own. And if you're not comfortable with it, there is an actual profile for our special interest group, right? And there will be times where I even will post from there. So when you are seeing my post on Facebook and things like that, and it's talking about I do have a coin and so on and so forth, that is real. My duty, let me share something with y'all. Yeah, I know there's scams out there. So you know what my duty is? Run through the whole scam, all the way down to when they start asking me for money. Why? Every time you see a scam is because somewhere along the lines there was a plan involved to where everybody could benefit without somebody taking what was not proper. So one of my duties is to, yeah, let me go and explore the scam. Let me see where they're going with this because maybe we can use this the correct way, how it was intentional. Because our battle is principalities, how it began, how it started. You see, there were things established before mankind decided to twist things for their own benefit. Don't get me started. So, anyhow, yeah, the things that I am posting con- concerning cryptocurrency and Web3 is to not only inform you, but to also let you know there is a safe place. And I will be on here, inshallah, Adon willing, letting you know how to navigate these spaces. Because I'm not here to tell you what I got. I'm here to tell you about it so that you can get it. We're going to need it. We can keep on rocking and rolling like this. However, I'm looking for a safe place to have telecommunications. I'm looking for a safe place to broadcast. We have way too many talents and skills to let them go out here where they are still benefiting every time we post. And we're not. We're not benefiting. Akati Mavis, if you are in the room, can you please send a love, send a like, or at least say shalom? Because I'm feeling the moment. Let me tell y'all something. First time I saw Akati Mavis's name show up somewhere, a song came to my head. I know a place, ain't nobody crying, ain't nobody worried, ain't no smiling faces. I want you all to understand something. When I was little and I heard that song, I'm trying to figure out why are people lined up? There she is. And it is a blessing. Tada Aki. Akati. Why would I say Aki? Because it's real close to the mind and really that's brother. Akati. Tada Akati. Thank you. First time I saw her name, Staple Singers came to my mind. And when I was young, when I was little, that's also the reason why words slipped. I was caught up in the moment. Forgive me, I'm human. When I was little, I was trying to figure out why would people line up just to run? Line to the races. I take you there. I don't know if I want to go. Do I really want to go and stand in a line to watch some people run? Help me, y'all. Yeah, first time I saw Akati's name, that's the first thing that came to mind. And we have corresponded and hadn't heard her voice not once. Or maybe I haven't Zooms or something like that. You know what though? I might as well be speaking with Mavis Staples as far as I'm concerned. I know that's not who that is. So I would not disrespect her that way. I treat her with the same respect though, because I'm not starstruck. I respect my elders and I respect my family. If you're 2 seconds older than me, or you might even happen to be more wise in wisdom or spirit or so on and so forth, and in that case, I respect it. Or you might be a baby in the spirit. I'm going to respect you. If I see it in your eyes and I can see it in your actions, then you can come run up and get all the hugs you need. You can come run up and I will put my wings out to make sure that you are protected because I'm a hawk, a Chicago black hawk, if you didn't know, who's been hanging out with red tail hawks. I'm here to let you know, here am I. And every time we meet, I am thankful because I get to share something with you all that I've been studying on and I've been tapped on the shoulder and told, well, since you asked for these things, this is what you will have to do. And look for these sorts of people along your path because that's how we're going to be able to build and grow. So when I start seeing like minds and I start seeing active individuals who are working for one unit in the Shem or authority and the praise of that one who made everything and set it into balance, then I have no choice but to join up and be counted amongst them because no man is an island and I don't play with Poli. Are you with me? If you come up and you ask me, well, what about power struggles and all that? I don't have time to worry about it because I know that there's some people that need to eat. There's some people that need to be clothed. There's some people that need to be having some sort of shelter. There's some people who need to occupy their time with some tools that they actually have and the skills that they want to offer to other people. I need to go and find all of that before I'm worried about some people that just want to argue back and forth and pass hot air. So, on the way out of this, I'm going to ask you again, what's your mission? Because you need to be hot about it when you wake up in the morning or when you wake up in the rising. You shouldn't be mourning. Hmm? Open those eyes and say, we come from our Father. We shall return to our Father. May our Father be pleased when we return. Amin. Selah. Ashe. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. We ask the protection of our Father against the evil ways as we walk the divine path. Rabbi Shfirli wa Rahmani wa Shbarni wa Fani wa Zukni wa Dini wa Afini. Allahu Akbar. O great teacher, O great Father, O great provider, we ask for your strength and guidance as we strive and gain stature on your divine path. And please forgive us when we do wrong, as well as bless and heal us, not only for doing right, but just for existing. Our Father is the greatest. Inshallah, Ya Allah, you barik aluma wa sahaba. Alhamdulillah, shukranallah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ameen. In the name of our Father, Yahweh Elohim, we ask for blessings and healing and security for the community and those who have taken the promise and the oath. La ilaha illallah, there is only one. Subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is our source of sustenance and mercy. Amin, touch and agree. Say La, think about it. Ashe, so be it. Muslims pray 5 times a day to make sure that we are sealed into exactly what we're supposed to be doing with that mission statement. Bismillahi ar-Rahmani ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmani ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, ruler of all worlds, the one who set everything into place and balance, most compassionate, most merciful. Lead me down your path and keep me from the ways of those who went astray. Look upon me with blessings and security instead of what you feel for those who disobey. Please forgive me in the times when I do. Ameen. What's your mission statement? This is a test. You see, we're using an emergency broadcast system. Morris Real. Shalom Barak. If I invite you up, will you come up? I'm gonna put on my earphones. Since this is a test, I was thinking about closing out with a song because I'm checking to see how much of the time they're actually going to credit me when it does buffer. See, this time around, there hasn't been any music that they could chop out so that they wouldn't have to credit for copyrights. You understand? Because this test also involves what happens when I do my future broadcasts, and they do happen to have my music in the background. Will I be credited for my work, or will it be chopped away? You see, on my royalty reports, it tells me which songs are played on YouTube Music, and any other platform that recognizes a registered artist. I keep telling you all about this because if you happen to be a minister that broadcasts, you need to be registering your works so that when it is being played, you have something that you can send back to the storehouses. You broadcasted the message, and then that message goes out. When it goes out, the platforms that publish you, they're making currency. Now, is your family getting fed from what those platforms are getting? No, because it is your responsibility to register yourself. They're not going to knock on your door. That's all that says. Ain't no tree going to come knocking on your door to tell you it's got fruit. So, yeah, I think I tried to invite you, bro, and I'm not knocking you. You might be busy. You might still be in the shower. You might be catching your breath. You all don't know this, or some of you all do because you're regulars anyway. We just walked in, excuse me, from an actual exercise workout session. I see you, Kaki Shadaya. Give me a second just to finish this thought. With so many things that are going on, that's the reason why I go for a while before I actually just say, hey, jump up, jump up, jump up. I know everybody's refreshing and not just their minds, but refreshing your body and everything else from all of the activities throughout the day. So with that being said, let's see. Akati Shadaya, can you join us? Let's see. Who is It's Nighttime? Your face looks familiar. However, we're not on a, you're on the job. Understood, family. Understood. Thank you for having the broadcast at least in your ears and all that good stuff. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Shala. DJ Lux. Well, if anything, like I said, this is a test. This is the emergency broadcast system. What you see on YouTube and what you see on TikTok is only a reflection of what we have the potential to do and be. This is only a test. I'm going to close out with a song. Let's see what we can find in the library. Oh, by the way, my ears was on and I did hear the request for playlists. Um, if you look on any of my profiles, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, there are some, let me think, there's some links that I share where you can contact me or hit me in. You can hit me in the DMs. I don't have anybody locked out. You don't get locked out unless you just come in acting super silly, right? So, like I said by that word, I don't have anybody locked out right now. And yes, we are locked in. Definitely locked in. So yeah, you can check my profiles and you'll see different links to go to different places to see certain things, right? Without getting all in the crazy detail. Word, man's group. Yep, yep. As a matter of fact, um, I'll probably jump in Adon Willing at the end of the next men's group, just to put a reminder out there, because these secured sites that I'm talking about, this what we got until Saturday for this week, and then of course there'll be a break from this end from this channel. So I'm going to be talking about some of the special interest groups, other sides of it, the actual infrastructure of the company. Yeah, with OpenSea, no. You might find through tags, through hashtags. That's your best way to find anything that I got going on. I'm going to send out a link though for OpenSea. The link for sent, which would be the email, or not the email, but the website that you could access the things to. Instead of just directly going to OpenSea, you'll be able to see all of the portfolios, because there's actually some NFTs that were already done in honor of our special interest group that are already out there, right? So that's the other reason that I've been driven to actually start sharing with you all like this, is because there's already work that has been processed and we need to utilize it. Hold on, I'm screenshotting that now. Gotcha. Will do. You're telling me about a new place I need to go check out. Ta-da. Ta-da. Okay, so let's see. We'll post up a song real quick and we'll leave out on that. I was jamming to some Bob Marley earlier. I think we can do that. Well, all right. I went looking through the list the whole time. Like, y'all see this? So there's a lot of stuff on there. But it was one specific song. You ever go looking for that one thing, right? And that's the song I was looking for. Jamming. Because I have it with Lauren Hill. So that's the one I was looking for. That reminds me, it was misnamed. You gotta love your children. You got to, right? This is back when LimeWire was still going on, and my son was like, "Dad, I've got some music for you, Dad." It's like, "For real?" I'm thinking 10 or 15 songs or whatever. 2 days worth of music. Well, all right, jamming. My little guy. Yeah, he ain't so little. There's mini me, and then there's reflection of me, right? He's he'll be 26 this year, and if you stood us next to each other, the only difference is 2 inches of height, and I got silver hair. He doesn't. His hair isn't locked up though. He's considered it, but right now he's just natural flowing curls doing his thing. Know the difference between an industrial diamond and the ones you wear on your ring? That's the difference between he and me. Him and me. Well, being hard. Oh, whoa, I might have found it. Hold on. Let's see. Because it was under the wrong name. So let me see if this is it. Ah, it is. It is. Yahava, Ahava. Halaya, Subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't know about you, but it's been an excellent day for me. I hope and pray that you all have the same. My apologies. I'm trying to put this thing down just so that we can all share a moment on the way out, right? Got two on YouTube, and we're down to the last 6 minutes of 2 hours. Thank all of you for joining and hanging out, spending time. Much appreciated. Appreciate love. And this does not want to cooperate. There we go. Be still, please. Please. Yahava, Ahava, Ahava. Yahava is love. Love is love. There's us, there's we, and there's the one that we represent. Here we go. With jamming, I hope you like jamming too. You can do it in your house. I know jamming too. With jamming, sorry about that. We remain poor, but we be jamming. I and I will see you through. Keep me satisfied. In the name of the Lord, we're jamming right straight from your holy Messiah. Holy Messiah. Jamming right straight from your. Jamming right straight from your. And I will see you through. And I will see you through. Appreciate love, all of you. Thank you for hanging out. A Father's peace to all of you. This has been a party. This has been a test. Applied knowledge is power. Assalamu alaikum.